it turned out to be harder than I expected. So yeah, I did spend about like 4 to 5 hours offline trying to get the snake to work. And finally, you see, this is the end product. The snake could work already. There were like close to 10 bugs that I had to fix in my code in order to get this to work. And yeah, it wasn't that easy. But I'm happy that the product is looks like a decent snake game, right? You look at it. Whenever you eat the apple, there will be one extra tail that will pop out at the end based on the orientation, and then there's a 30% chance that you will get a rotten apple. So yeah, I've decided to make this like harder and harder for the player. So like maybe after you go through a certain snake length, your speed will be faster and so on. And also like I'm thinking like we could even play around with the camera, like or maybe give the player restricted visibility that will become like lesser and lesser as the play goes. Yeah. So right at the beginning you will see everything, but after a while you will have a few of vision. So let's try to code those in. Yeah. So this is the outcome of the snake. It really looks quite nice, I think. Looks like Maka Chase already. Yeah, I've been trying to replicate Maka Chase. So the thing is, if you want to code a snake with the body that is fluid like that, it isn't that easy as compared to the usual snake. But I did some tweaks which I will be sharing in this stream. Okay, so let's stop. Okay, let me just check my Twitch. Okay, yeah, it's working. So yeah, if you do have any questions, feel free to just put it in the chat. Yeah, I'm monitoring my chat as well. So let's see. Let me just open up the scripts to show you all. Okay, so the main thing that I changed is like in the body script. I realized that initially why all the time when the tail spawns, it goes all the way to the top is because in the start for the body, I believe I added a waypoint. Okay, it's either the body or the head. I think maybe in the head. In the start, I added a waypoint here, and then when I added the waypoint, it added to like 100 times up, which is like the y-axis at 100. That's why it went all the way up. So I deleted that already. So let's just go through what I changed. So in start, there's no change to this. Update has a huge change. So what I did is I firstly had to do it for like 10 iterations because like we need to get the most updated waypoint each time and then move towards there. And then if the waypoint is reached, then we get the next waypoint. And then we do this like 10 times. Okay, the reason why it's 10 times is because if there's no waypoint, that means the current waypoint is the head of the snake itself. But sometimes if we just do it one time, like for example, if we do it only one time, it's like, let's say your snake goes up and goes right. Yeah, sometimes that distance you need to cover, this step distance you need to cover, it only covers like let's say if you go only all the way up, you stop at this waypoint, then there's this distance to the right that you miss out. And so if you keep doing your turns, your snake will get further and further apart in the body, which we want to avoid. So that's why I did 10. You could do like two, but two I also realized there's a bit of a gap. So I did 10 iterations to like update the distance to the next waypoint. So we keep getting the next waypoint, okay? And then if the waypoint is reached, we increase the waypoint number only if there's a next waypoint to go to. Okay, and the starting waypoint, I set it as 0. Okay, then we step towards the next waypoint and then we minus off this distance from step, which means that step, you only step through a shorter distance each time because we want to make sure that in these 10 iterations, we only step the same distance, which is this step distance. So the next time when we go towards the next waypoint, we will step through a smaller distance. Then we update the transforms position. The rest of the function no change for head for body. Eaten apple has no change. Okay, in head, let's just run through. I deleted the vector that adds a waypoint here. Over here, I realized I made a mistake in the past. I did the direction vector, then I added a waypoint. This means that once you turn to the next waypoint, right, your direction is basically the new direction. So let's say you go up and turn right, the direction is right. But then because this waypoint is the waypoint of going up, right, we want to make sure that this direction here is also going upwards rather than going to right. So we should add the waypoint before we turn to the new direction. Yeah, so this was one thing that I changed. The rest here, no difference. Okay, actually here there's There's really not much changes. Okay, so the main thing was is just this waypoint adding was added at the wrong position. Okay, the game manager has the huge changes. Okay, firstly, the distance apart was changed to 0.4 because I initially used 0.2, but it was too close. So it led to a situation whereby when you turn or when the snake turns, you will collide into your own tail immediately. Let me just describe this because when you go to the motion like that up and then right, yeah, when let's say you have two cells up and then right, there's a collision sometimes that can happen if it's too close because of the way it's done. So let's see my game manager. Now, oh, the distance part I put 0.6. Let's just change this to 0.2 to just demonstrate what will happen if it's too close. Oh, I lose instantly. So 0.2. Okay, let's go to 0.4 to just demonstrate this. See, the moment I turn, do you see that? The moment I turn, oh, it's a bit too small. Yeah, but the moment I turn, the first the first thing is colliding with the second one. So this means it's too close already. Hence, after some experimentation, I think 0.5 is also too close. So only like 0.6, then it is possible to not die. Well, actually 0.5 is fine. So yeah, actually, why not? Let's use 0.5 instead. Yeah, it looks more compact that way. Hey, look at my snake zipping through. All right, looks good. Looks good. Yeah, so let's use 0.5 then. Yeah, apply. Okay, so I've decided to use 0.5 instead for this. Okay, let's go back to the. So I was just checking my Twitch was okay. Yep. So let's go back to the code. What else did I change since my last stream? I have a awake method here to clear all my variables. This is not very necessary, but I just wanted to make sure that this wasn't the cause of any errors. So I cleared all these like direction waypoints bodies over here and destroy any bodies that was stored. Yeah, so this just makes very clear that there's an empty list when I first start. Okay, awake is done before start. Yeah, so that's why you when you do this, we clear all the variables in this here before I start, and then when I start, I do the same thing. So yeah, debug. All these are debugging code. So in the get direction and get waypoint every time, when let's say a body wants to query to get the current direction of the waypoint number, if there's no current waypoint, if basically if the waypoint itself, because over here this waypoint num, right? If you look at the head code, you will only increment the waypoint num only to the maximum of game manager.get waypoint count, which is like if there's two waypoints, my waypoint num will be two. Okay, so it means that if this is greater equals to count, actually this can be replaced by equals equals. Yeah, it will still work. So if let's say it's beyond the maximum waypoint itself, then it will go to the head's direction instead. So the head of the snake is a waypoint at all times. It's just that I don't want to make this a waypoint because then I will have many waypoints. At each update, I need to update the head one time. So instead of having a static waypoint that is safe, I do a dynamic waypoint update. Every time that there's no waypoint, then simply follow the head. Same thing for get waypoint. If there's no current waypoint, use the head's position as your waypoint. Okay, get waypoint count no change. Generate food. Uh, there was an issue in the past that okay, let's just uncomment all this. This was all debugging. Yeah, I can tell you that if I were to stream myself debugging, it would be 4 to 5 hours debugging this. It was pretty painful, but at the end of it, when it worked, I was quite happy. Yeah, it's my first time doing this snake game, so yeah, some teething errors here. So all this here, no change. We instantiate the body object uh, by the current position is either if there's no bodies, then use the head. Okay, because remember the head is a waypoint. Okay, if not, then we use the last body, which is the tail of the snake, the last part of the tail, and then we use its position minus the offset times this part. So offset is basically the distance that the direction of the tail that is moving. So offset is up. So we we instantiate the tail. Let's say the tail is moving upwards. The new tail extension should be to the southwards. So if you are moving northwards, you want to instantiate your tail southwards. That's why we do a minus here instead. And this part is basically how much of a unit vector you offset of the tail when you instantiate it. Okay, then over here I do this get component body, which means that I get the component script of the script component body from this object. So this is needed because later once we do this get position, get direction, all this reference the script body. So you want to get the body when we instantiate it and store in this body's array. Yep. So over here we set waypoint num is to tell the body, okay, the current waypoint is currently you are following waypoint number 115 or waypoint number 124. Then it knows exactly when you set the current waypoint here, you go to the body code. When we set the current waypoint, we set the waypoint number to be that number. And then once in the update, it will get the waypoint it needs to follow based on this number. So yeah, these are the tweaks that I did for my snake in order to get it to work. The rest have no change. Yeah, so yeah, if you need any further clarification, do let me know. Yeah, I think this was pretty cool to get all this working. So let's just run through the game again. Okay, let's just run through the game again. So now I have about 15 minutes left before I have to leave. So wait, hang on a moment. When I start, I should have only one tail. Do I only have one tail? Yes, only one tail. Okay, so it means that the apple itself, yeah, the apple spawned right on top of me, which is, I guess, is a good thing. So and now, whenever we increase the tail, we want to increase the speed of the snake. So the speed of the snake is controlled in two places. Okay, it's in control in two places. One is in the head, one is in the body. Okay, so let's try to do that. So this is the current move speed. We want to increase the move speed based on the number of apples we ate. So how can we do that? Let's think about it. There's this variable called move speed. There's this variable called move speed in my body, public float move speed. Okay, and then there's this variable called move speed in my head as well. So, and all this will be when doing update based on the move speed, we will move a certain distance. So it means that we can actually set our move speed. So we can have a setter method here. So let's do it. Uh, public in set move speed. Yeah, I always like to do setter methods. I dip. Yep, I'm trying to do my snake game here. So I decided that like in order to learn like game creation, I'll do like replicas of popular games. I think mainly from Neopets of my childhood. Try to replicate them. So this is trying to replicate Mocha Chase. And then yeah, there will be a few other games also. If you have any game suggestion you want, you can let me know, and I can try to code it up. Yeah. But okay, let's do the set move speed first. So set move speed will be here. This one move speed equals to, okay, this one will be float move speed. So we can call this set move speed. So we can put this dot move speed equals to move speed. So this dot move speed refers to this as in the head's move speed. We can do this for the body as well. We have a setter method here. Okay, so actually this is a void. Setter method shouldn't return an int. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's a depends on the purpose. Like this is C sharp. C sharp is meant for Unity. Actually, I only learned C sharp because I program in Unity. C++ I do in Google Kickstart. I don't know if you've seen my Google Kickstart streams, but C++ is necessary because if you use Python, you're going to have timeout. And if I do like Clash of Code, then typically I like Python and Ruby. The rest of the languages are for fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to learn a range of languages so that you know it could prove useful. Yeah, actually, once you learn one language, it's pretty simple to learn the rest. I mean, if it's a similar kind of syntax. Yeah. So yeah, what I've done so far is I've set my move speed here in my head and my body. And what I want to do is when okay, so I have this variable called score. When my score increases, I want to increase my move speed. So over here, my move speed is 1F, which is actually wrong. Yeah, my move speed, oh, is it 1? Let me just double check that my move speed is 1. Yeah. I want to increase the speed faster and faster and faster. So actually, the move speed is 3. Move speed is 3. So maybe I should start by making the move speed here 3. Making the move speed here 3 also. Yeah. Okay. The reason why it's 1 is because when you key in the move speed here, it kind of overrides the move speed that you set in your script. Yeah. So it's okay. We do by 3 first. We do 3 first. Okay. And I will want to increase the move speed maybe by 0.1 for each apple. I think that's okay, right? I don't know. We will increase first and then we see how it goes. So whenever we eat the apple, we add score. Okay. So the eat apple code is, what's my eat apple code? I think the eat apple code is in the head. Yeah, whenever the head eats an apple, here on collision enter 2D, um, it will add a score. It will generate the food. Maybe we can just do one code here. Game manager dot add speed. Yeah. So or we can link it to the score, but I prefer to keep it separate so that you know we don't like conflict a function. Yeah. So add speed. Okay, over here, maybe we could even have the speed over here. Yeah. So what we can do is we can, yeah, there's a slight issue here. Because this is set move speed. Okay, that means I need to know the original move speed. So that's not too good here. I mean, what I want to do is I want to add the move speed. So maybe what I can do is in my game manager, where's the function add speed, right? So I will need to call my head and I will need to add for all my tails. So okay, so now it's currently set speed, set move speed. Okay, let's just change this to add move speed. Yeah, and there's not much change here. It's just changing set to add. Yeah. So we just instead of setting the move speed, I add. Do you know if it's difficult to create a script to input DNA methylation? Mm, I'm not too sure actually. I never done that before. Yeah, but I guess if it's something to do with like string manipulation, it should be okay. It should be pretty simple. DNA methylation. But if you are talking about generating the shape of the DNA proteins, that is a tough problem. That they do have biology competitions to try to predict the shape of the protein. That's not easy. Yeah, if you are asking that. Okay, so let's set the speed. Okay, so in the head we set, this one will be oh sorry, add move speed. So this is also add move speed. Okay, so all these are done. So in game manager, I want to add move speed. So head dot add move speed. Okay, so yeah, actually I thinking maybe when I do add speed, I don't take in a variable because I want the game manager to control my speed. Add move speed. Maybe we just call it add speed, additional speed, and this one will be a private variable or maybe public variable. Yeah, so this one will tell you. And maybe I add a 0.1 speed to my head and my body whenever I uh, generate it. Yeah, so okay, there's a slight issue right now because if we were to do this, our body, right? our body speed here, we need to actually tell the body what speed to move at the beginning. So we need to actually like set the speed rather than add the speed. Hmm. Yeah, let's just set the move speed rather than add it. Yeah, let's just set it in. I'll just hard code the move speed at the game manager. Let's just set it. Yeah, it'll make more sense. Oh no, I don't take part in that competition. Yeah. Okay, so let's set the move speed. Okay, let's set the move speed. Uh, so I'll set the speed based on the score. So yeah, so maybe like this. So for each score, you will increase this. So for each auto, actually this is body, body B in bodies. In fact, I can call it body. Yeah. So in my list of bodies, okay, in my list of bodies, I'll reference. I'll set the move speed. Yeah. So let's set the speed. So this one basically. Okay. So actually, one way to do it is to do it in the update method, or actually in the generate food method over here, because when I generate the food, that's when I add my speed, right? So actually I can lump it in the generate food rather than having an add speed here, or this could be update speed. Yeah, so in my head, initially I go and call this add speed. I don't have to do that. In the generate food function, okay, after I finish generating and add the body, I'll do my update speed here. So this one is update speed of body, of head and body. So what you will see is that you will see the snake moving faster and faster and faster, hopefully. So I hope this works. Never really tested it, but I think it should work. So let's try it out. Hopefully no big issues. Okay, compile errors. Let's see. Put the console in here. Put the console in. No, this is not good. Put it here. Yes. Clear it. Okay. Body does not contain a set move speed. Okay, let's see our body function. Yeah, I call it. Yeah, I call it set move speed. So it should have set move speed. Our head also has a set move speed, I believe. Here. So let's see whether is it a one-off error or a code error that I did. Okay, so it's done. I probably didn't save the file, that's why. Okay, so this is, let's just go to the game manager. Okay, I can't really see the move speed right now. Maybe I should have printed. I guess we can visualize whether the move speed increases by seeing whether my snake is faster. I think it is increasing. It does look faster, right? Don't you think so? Yeah, the snake does look faster, don't you think? I mean, it's a bit imperceptible at first, but it is getting faster and faster. Yeah, I think the apple is not too bad. Yeah, yeah, it is getting faster. You can see that it does look faster right now. So good luck for people who want to get 100 points. I think it's quite tough, this game. Yeah, but you can see that the apple itself, um, the rotten apples, I think, are spawning a little too much. Yeah, I don't really want the apples to spawn so fast. Maybe I'll decrease the gen. Okay, so I died. Yeah, so we can see that it actually works already. So this is the modification one that I want to do for my snake, and I think it is working very well. Yeah. So right now I want to go to my prefab for the apple. Okay. I like to like decrease, reduce the collider for this to make it harder for someone to hit apple, to make it harder for someone to hit apple. Because if not, people will complain, hey, how come I die so fast? So maybe if you only if you hit right at the center here, then you lose. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, let's go back to this. Oh, I forgot to save my prefab, I think. Yeah, okay, this is good. So this is done. Okay, let's go back to the main page. Okay, I think what I want to do is maybe I'll change the generic probability to 10%. Yeah, because if not, it will like flood the screen too much. I remember when I was playing Maca Chase, I was quite irritated with the amount of like bad apples that came out, or bad eggs that came out. So I don't think I want to go down that track in my own game. So this is the snake right now. Yeah, not too bad. I'll upload this game once it's done. Then you all can try it. It's a little laggy. I suspect it's because of the streaming. Yeah. So now you can see that the snake is eating the apples, and yeah, 10% generate probability is good. See, only after a while then you have one apple come out. I mean, rotten apple come out, which is good because our focus should be on eating the stuff, not on avoiding the rotten apples. Don't know why it's lagging so much. It's kind of obvious to me that the snake is lagging, but I really think it's because of Twitch streaming. Yeah, if not, it will be a fluid motion like this. See, it's a fluid motion. Whoa, 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 whoa! It's getting a bit fast here. Did I increase the speed too much? Maybe point one per apple. Maybe it's a bit too much. Yeah. So actually, I would like to introduce other mechanics like maybe the walls of maybe the walls of the enclosure can become smaller and smaller as you increase. So make things tougher for people. The enclosure could actually move inwards at a fixed rate. Yeah, so these are some ideas we can make to make the snake game interesting. So see, 34 is not too bad already. Oh, I died. Yeah, so I think this is not too bad already. You can see that the snake is increasing in terms of its speed. And yeah, probably the next thing I'm gonna do, maybe in the next stream, because I have to go off already, is to in this head here, rather than this head, I want it to like maybe have a field of vision around the head, and then anything outside of the field of vision will be unseen. So you can only see like within your scope of vision of the head, and everything else will be unknown. So only within this scope of the head, then you can see, and this vision will be slowly reduced and reduced and reduced and reduced as you eat more apples to make it tougher for you. Yeah. So that will work on the field of vision decrease in the next stream. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. It'll be fun. Then maybe these walls we can also work on the next stream. We'll make the walls move closer and closer to you. So if you go to the scene, as you eat more and more apples, this wall will shift further and further and further and further in. Kind of make the game difficult, right? So maybe my snake, I will need to make the snake a little smaller. Yeah, haven't really. I need to fine tune the feel of this game, so that will be done next time. But as of now, today I managed to finish why I couldn't get the snake body like to work in the past in the previous stream, and I also managed to add, increase the speed of the snake as we eat more and more apples. So this is done through this set move speed, and it's controlled by the game manager. But in this update move speed, and it will be updated every time we generate an apple and add one more body here. So that's all, and yeah, that's hope to see you all again tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be streaming again to continue this snake game. Okay, see ya.